Hi, I'm Ellen Gormley and welcome to my channel. Welcome to the free crochet pattern of the week. Yay! So welcome to the little prince hat. Now, of course, there's no reason why you can't make this a princess hat either, but this is a free pattern that is offered by Red Heart. Thank you so much, Red Heart. I designed this hat for them several years ago and they purchased it and they've had it up on their website and you may not have known about it. But hey, here's a free pattern and if it's new to you, then it's new to you. So let's give this one a look. So it says intermediate, and you know my philosophy on this, that if given the right amount of time, you can really make anything. And just because it says intermediate doesn't mean you should be intimidated. It's really not that hard. So let me walk you through this hat a little bit. So this hat is made with Red Heart Soft Baby Steps yarn. It's a worsted weight yarn, so that means you can substitute other worsted weight yarns for the ones in this pattern as long as you get the right gauge. Now the gauge for this pattern, you use an I size hook, not the one that I have in my hand. I'm just using it as a pointer, but use an I size hook and you should be able to get, according to the pattern, 10 stitches for 3 inches. So, check your gauge. So you can make a gauge swatch with the stitches that are specified in the pattern and see if you can get 10 of them in 3 inches. And it's also important to note that your gauge can change throughout a project. And I only mention this because I saw it pop up on the internet the other day that just because you get gauge in the beginning of the pattern doesn't mean you can just ignore gauge the rest of the pattern. You need to make sure that your gauge is still on target for the remaining portion of the pattern so that you don't get looser as you go along or get tighter with your stitches as you go along, and then it might change things. Now a small project like a hat you can do in one sitting and your gauge is not likely to vary too much over the course of a small project. But if you're doing a garment, for example, you need to make sure that your gauge at the beginning of the garment is the same as the end. That way you don't end up with a garment that is bigger on one side than the other. Okay, so check your gauge. So this is, you really could make this out of your scrap yarn, but we have 4 colors here: the aqua, the baby yellow, the baby green, and the white. So this hat is made from the top, the crown, down. And you can make this, directions are for 9 months, and then you can also make it for 12 months. So you can really make it bigger, especially if you're an experienced crocheter. You can add more rounds before you start working evenly. So let's go back. So you're going to make a circle. The crown is worked from the top down, and as you work the stitches you get all the way down to this portion, and then you turn and work back up for this section. So imagine making a blue hat and then turning so that now you're kind of flipping a brim. Consider this white and yellow portion a brim that you're flipping up, and that is made by using front loop or back loop only as specified in the pattern, and that helps make this creased folded edge. So after you make the blue hat and then you go up with the yellow and the white, and then you add this shark fin edging here, and then after you've done that you go back and make these green appliques and put a row of reverse single crochet around the edge. Now I do have a special stitches video that shows you reverse single crochet, also known as the crab stitch. And so I'll try and link that here so that you have it. But it's really all double crochets, and then this little shark fin edging starts with bigger stitches and goes down to smaller stitches. So it's really tall stitches and then shorter ones. So the trickiest part of this whole pattern is these little points. And so even though it says an intermediate pattern, it's really pretty easy. And you can see the special stitches in my playlist and know how to make each of these stitches. So it's a 1-page pattern. It's really easy. I'm going to take a peek at some of the part that I'm not showing you right now to make sure that I give you what you need to know. So for the shark fin part, the points part, you need to be able to make double crochets, half double crochets, single crochets. So you can do that. And then the finishing is just the crab stitch or the reverse single crochet around here. So the double treble is used in here. And so a double treble, you know, a treble crochet is to yarn over twice and then insert the hook. So you might need to learn the double treble. So let me grab hook and yarn and show you what a double treble is quickly. Just one moment. So a double treble is a really tall stitch. So I have just a little swatch going here of single crochet, and I've chained 1, 2, 3, 4 because I just want to give myself some height to make this next very tall stitch. This double treble. So a treble, or a triple as some people call it, is to yarn over twice and insert the hook. So a double treble is one more loop. So you would yarn over 3 times, then insert the hook in the stitch or space specified, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. See how that makes a really, really tall stitch? And you can count the yarn overs there, 1, 2, 3. It's the little diagonals that you see in the finished stitch. So if you need to read your stitches and not sure what stitch you just made, you can count the diagonal lines across the front of the stitch, and that tells you what stitch it is. So this would have been a double crochet, that would have been a treble crochet, and that's a double treble crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 3 yarn overs, 1, 2, 3 yarn overs, insert into the stitch or space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, 1, 2, 3, a 4th time until just 1 loop remains. And those are examples, or 2 examples of double treble crochet. So it's an intermediate pattern. The double treble is probably the most difficult part of the whole pattern, and I just showed it to you. So guess what? You can now do it, and I hope you have fun with the Little Prince hat. Please go wild with this hat with yarns and colors, sparkles, maybe a metallic, throw in different colored gems. You know, you can really have a lot of fun and customize this pattern to the person who's going to be wearing it. Maybe it would be you. You never know. Have fun, and thanks so much for joining me on the free pattern of the week. Yay! Take care.